morning. Welcome to Tribune News on Q, your go-to morning news source, only here at the Daily Tribune. We're now live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page, Daily Tribune PH on YouTube, and the Daily Tribune Official on TikTok. For today's headlines. The House Committee on Justice on Monday cleared two impeachment complaints against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as sufficient in form. Two new impeachment complaints were filed on Monday against Vice President Sara Duterte, shortly after the Supreme Court voided last year's impeachment articles as unconstitutional. The Department of Justice on Monday launched a preliminary investigation into plunder complaints against Senator Jinggoy Estrada and former Senator Bong Revilla Jr. over alleged irregularities in flood control projects. Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla is set to challenge the House after its Secretary General reportedly required the plenary approval before releasing the silence of lawmakers under probe in the flood control scam. Public schools and state universities nationwide are set for faster internet access after Congress earmarked 5 billion pesos to expand the country's free Wi-Fi network. The Philippine economy likely slowed more sharply than expected in the fourth quarter, prompting the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas to reassess its 2026 outlook while keeping further interest rate cuts on the table. The 2026 Grammys spotlighted both breakout talent and deeply personal stories, reflecting the music industry's shifting priorities towards heritage, resilience, and lived experience. Alex Ayala kickstarted her Abu Dhabi Open campaign on a high note as she swept Zeynep Sönmez of Turkey in round 32 at the Zayed Sports City International Tennis Center on Tuesday, Manila time. Today is the 3rd of February 2026, Tuesday, and I'm Eliana Lacap, bringing you today's top stories. Let's kick things off with today's weather. A low-pressure area outside the Philippine area of responsibility has a high chance of developing into Tropical Depression Basyang within 24 hours. As of 2 a.m., it was 1,370 kilometers east of northeastern Mindanao and has no direct effect on the country yet. Meanwhile, the shear line and northeast monsoon will bring cloudy skies with rains over parts of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Northern Luzon, Eastern Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao will experience moderate to strong winds with moderate to rough seas, while the rest of the country will see light to moderate winds and slight to moderate coastal waters. Now for our traffic update. Light traffic is reported at Balintawak Toll Plaza, approaching Skyway entry ramp southbound, approaching Mindanao Toll Plaza, Bukawi Toll Plaza, and San Fernando northbound and southbound lanes. All other areas of NLEX, SSX, and NLEX connector, including toll plazas and interchanges, are also experiencing light traffic conditions. Motorists are advised to stay alert and follow traffic advisories for a safe and smooth trip. Now let's move on to this morning's headlines. The House Committee on Justice has cleared two impeachment complaints against President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as sufficient in form, allowing the process to move forward. The first complaint filed by lawyer Andre De Jesus alleges unconstitutional violations, graft, and betrayal of public trust. The second, filed by the Makabayan bloc, centers on alleged budget abuses linked to the so-called BBM parametric formula for infrastructure funds. Lawmakers stressed the decision was purely technical, with hearings set to determine sufficiency and substance, as Malacanang dismissed the cases as baseless and warned of possible economic impact. Now, two new impeachment complaints were filed against Vice President Sara Duterte, targeting alleged misuse of 612.5 million pesos and confidential funds and broader accusations of graft, corruption, and abuse of power, coming after the Supreme Court voided last year's filings on technical grounds. The Makabayan-backed complaint highlights disallowed spending flagged by the Commission on Audit, while a second endorsed by opposition figures cites multiple high crimes. House officials said the Supreme Court ruling does not affect the new cases, which Duterte's legal team is prepared to contest. Now, the Department of Justice has opened a preliminary investigation into plunder complaints against Senator Jinggoy Estrada and former Senator Ramon Bong Revilla Jr., linked to alleged irregularities in flood control projects. At this stage, the hearing covers only the reception of case records, so Estrada and Revilla are not required to appear and may be represented by lawyers. Subpoenas have also been issued to former DPWH Secretary Manuel Bunoan and other co-accused for hearings on February 2nd and 12th, with personal appearances required later when counter-affidavits are submitted. Now, Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla is challenging the House after its Secretary General's office reportedly required plenary approval to release lawmakers' sal-ins, which he says is unnecessary. Remulla stressed that the sal-ins are crucial to resolving the contractor controversy involving potential conflicts of interest under the Code of Ethics standards, including ongoing probes into former House Speaker Martin Romualdez and alleged property deals with contractor spouses Curly and Sara Discaya. He plans to formally protest the House's procedure, emphasizing that plenary approval is not required for these investigations. Now, Congress has allocated 5 billion pesos to expand the free Wi-Fi in public schools and state universities under the 2026 General Appropriations Act, focusing on underserved and remote communities. Part of the Free Public Internet Access Program, the funding builds on last year's 7.5 billion peso and aims to boost online learning, distance education, and digital services. Mandated by law and financed through NTC collected spectrum fees, the program will also provide high-speed internet in public spaces, helping close development gaps and enabling wider participation in the digital economy. Now, the Philippine economy slowed more than expected in Q4 of 2025, with GDP rising just 3%, the weakest since 2011, excluding the pandemic, bringing full-year growth to 4.4%. Bangko Sentral ng Filipinas Governor Eli Romolona Jr. said earlier forecasts underestimated the slowdown, prompting a review of the 2026 outlook and keeping the possibility of further interest rates cuts. Analysts pointed to weak public investment and spending in delays, projecting modest recovery in early 2026, with growth rebounding to 3.5 to 4% in the first half and approaching by 5% by year-end. Now, the 2026 Grammys at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles showcase the music's evolving landscape and personal stories. Olivia Dean won Best New Artist honoring her immigrant roots, while Bad Bunny took home Album of the Year and Record of the Year. Billie Eilish earned Song of the Year for Wildflower, and Lady Gaga won Best Pop Vocal Album for Mayhem and Best Dance Pop Recording for Abracadabra. Kendrick Lamar claimed the Best Rap Album GNX and Best Rap Song for TV Off. Leon Thomas won Best R&B Album. Turnstile dominated rock categories, and Amy Allen, Circuit, and Steven Spielberg earned top songwriting, producing, and music film honors. Now, Alex Ayala opened her Abu Dhabi Open campaign with convincing 6-4, 6-3 win over Turkey's Zeynep Zonmez in the round of 32 at Zayed Sports City International Tennis Center on Tuesday, Manila time. World number 45 Ayala defeated number 79 Zonmez in 89 minutes before a cheering Filipino crowd. She praised her opponent and close friend after the match, saying their bond goes beyond tennis. Ayala now faces Belarus's Alexandra Sashnovich, ranked number 109 in round of 16 on Wednesday. Now, a quick look at today's horoscope. Today calls for love and leadership, Sagittarius. Guard against jealousy and let your caring emotions shine. Show your partner how much you value them and trust your instincts in financial matters. You know if the risk is worth it. Take charge of any project you're working on today. Stepping into a leadership role will help you steer things towards success and balance. Now, Katriba, did you know that on February Second, 1987, the Philippines ratified its current constitution through a nationwide plebiscite with over 77 voting in favor. Drafted in just 133 days by a 48-member commission after the 1986 EDSA revolution, the 1987 Constitution replaced the authoritarian 1973 Charter. It restored a democracy, re-established bicameral Congress, and enshrined civil liberties. The document took full effect on February 11, 1987, and continues to serve as the supreme law of the land, forming the foundation of the Philippines' post-EDSA democratic governance. Now today's viral story is a TikTok video that has racked up 4.9 million views, featuring a chicken that has netizens laughing. In the clip, the chicken strikes a stance strikingly similar to Michael Jackson's iconic moves. Netizens couldn't help but notice the resemblance, leaving funny comments like "cheeky hen" and other playful reactions. That's all for now, mga katribu. Join us again at 1 o'clock p.m. for more updates. This has been Eliana Lacap for Tribune News on Q.